Oral Hershiser, and I am on the Blue Review. Hey, this is Sean Green. You're watching the Blue Review.
Nobody didn't play about pew 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 because they won the game before.
The last time they played, excuse me, I'm all choked up. Last time they played, they did win a game. So sure, lasers still count, I guess. Welcome everybody to the Blue Review. They're still winners. Still winners. Welcome to the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcas Grant. That is Greg Bergman. No baseball last night, not for the Dodgers at least. But you and I got to be at a very cool event, the OC Sports Awards, hosted by our own Travis Rogers. You got to meet a lot of really cool people. So that was a fun way to spend the evening.
Yeah, it was a fun way to see. Travis did great. He hosted the OC Sports Awards, like you said. And Karch Karai was there. Lee Steinberg with the dip in his mouth. He was there. There was
Ann Myers Drysdale.
Yeah, she was Cheryl Miller. Like it was a really cool event. And you should go back if you haven't watched all those interviews. You go back onto the YouTube page and watch Travis DeMarco and Marcas Grant interviewing a bunch of those guys. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun last night. Travis, I stayed for a little bit at the beginning and watched Travis introduce some people. That was very cool. A good night overall for sure. But anyway, time to talk a little bit of Dodger baseball after an off day. But first, I want to let you know that the Blue Review is powered by LAX. From practice to prime time, the all-electric LAX Skylink is being put through its paces in testing, getting ready to deliver reliable and traffic-free airport experience. For more information, visit lawa.org/ESPN. All right. Again, no baseball last night, so no recaps of anything, but felt like this is a good time to sort of take stock of where this team is at this point, how things are going. I mean, look, on the scoreboard in the standings, couldn't really get much better. The Dodgers, the first team to 48 wins so far this season. They are currently a game up over the Braves for the best record in all of Major League Baseball. So, if the season ended today, they would be the 1 seed in the National League. So that's good. 9 games up over the Padres. So in that respect, they're doing everything that we expected them to do, right?
Everything expected. I mean, I don't know. Did you? I mean, I didn't expect them at this point in the season. It's still very early. It's still, for this team, it's June. Like we talked about it a couple of days ago. If it's the Padres and you're in first place, you're like, it's June and we're in first place. Yes, look at us. And the Dodgers are like, cool, great. All right, we're going to move forward, and we're going to do it. This isn't the time to be excited. Like it's just different mindset. You know what I mean? So I think they're still happy, and I think I'm just surprised that they're up 9 games at this point. I really expected one of the Diamondbacks or the Padres to actually make a little bit of a leap and be closer to them and be somewhere around like 3-4 games back. And it's like they're contending and putting pressure on the Dodgers that they have to play well. They're just not. So I think that's the only thing I'm surprised about.
To your point, this time last year, I'm looking right now, on June 19th of 2025, they were up 3.5 games at that point in the division.
Right.
Like they had just at that point, they on the 19th, they lost to the Padres. The night before they had won on a walk-off. They lost the next day to go up 3.5 games. But they also, I'm kind of following along here. Yeah. They actually ended up stretching it out to a 9-game lead pretty much by the 4th of July.
And then what happened last year, if you remember, like neither team really wanted to take the division. The Dodgers were playing 500 baseball. The Padres were playing 500 baseball. Like they were sitting there. If the Padres wanted to take it over, they could have because of how badly the Dodgers were playing, and they didn't. And I think that's kind of what we're going to see here as well.
Yeah. But I mean, so this team right now, we talked about this a little bit yesterday on Travis and DeMarco during first pitch. They're not fully healthy. They're waiting for people to come back. They're waiting for a lot of pitching to come back at this point. You're still waiting on Teoscar Hernandez, We will see what the outlook is for Will Smith. He was eligible to come off the IL today, but we learned that that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of waiting to see from that. But I don't know how to describe this, but for them to have the best record in baseball right now, for them to have a 9-game lead, it does feel sort of incomplete because we haven't seen this team at full strength because guys have been hurt, guys have underperformed. It does feel like for all of this, we haven't seen the best of the Dodgers, which is encouraging for us. It's got to be bad news for everybody else in the major leagues right now.
I mean, no, we're not going to see this team full until at least after the All-Star break, because that's when Edwin Diaz and Blake Snell and who knows when Tyler Glasnow and Teo are all going to come back. So yeah, you're right. It's this team. They shouldn't be winning games because of Justin Robleski, Emmett Sheehan, and Roki Sasaki. They should be winning games because of Yamamoto, Shohei, Snell, and Glasnow. But that's not happening. You're seeing it because of all these other guys, and you have more. I mean, we talk about it a lot, but it really goes to the fact that Andrew Friedman is better at this than everybody in baseball. He knows what he's doing better than everywhere. He's saying, I'm going to fill this team up so we don't have to do anything at the trade deadline. And this might be the first year that we don't have to do anything at the trade line, even though they probably should hit on the edges somewhere. Mm-hmm. But this is the whole reason he does this. He goes in the offseason, he grabs all these dudes and says, hey, we have a full team. We don't got to do it. Overpay at the deadline. And he's doing it. And so it doesn't matter that guys are injured. It doesn't matter. As long as the core is set, this team can keep winning games.
Yeah, and I think that's the important part, right? The core is set. Everybody is sort of pulling in one direction. And the fact that, as you mentioned, you're getting some better than expected performances out of a lot of guys. I mean, the back part of that rotation is exceeding expectations. Nobody expected Justin Robleski to be doing what he's doing. The development and progression we have seen from Roki Sasaki has been really encouraging. And even Emmett Sheehan, who has been up and down, you still believe, even when he takes the ball, that he's going to at least put you in position to win, to keep you competitive. And that's really kind of all you can. Then throw in the fact that you get a guy like Eric Lauer, who it's like the old Looney Tunes line. I don't know how you's done it, but I know you's done it. Like he's out here getting outs, and they're winning every time he takes the ball. So it's sort of amazing in that respect.
Quality starts. Yeah. 2 of his 4 starts are quality starts. He wasn't doing that in Toronto this year.
No, it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. Should talk about Shohei, because the last time we saw Shohei Ohtani, the blister on his finger burst, and
I got blisters on my fingers.
Yeah, right. He was bleeding. Was trying to pinch hit, looking utterly uncomfortable trying to do that. I know the Dodgers haven't talked about an IL stint for him. I guess they think he's going to try to make his next turn in the rotation. Are they better off maybe just saying, hey man, just take a week off, go on a 10-day IL stint, let the blister get right. Even though you can rest your knee a little bit for a few days. Is that the best course of action? And will the Dodgers actually consider that?
So I actually believe it is the best course of action. Now, there's different thoughts in here. So there's my thoughts, there's the Dodgers' thoughts, and there's Shohei's thoughts. My thoughts are, yes, he should take a break. You have the best record in baseball. You have a 9-game lead. You have all these. Tommy Edman came back. You have a team that can win without you. They did just win without you on the Wednesday. So you can. Well, he was on the mound, but still. You can win without him, or at least you hope that you can win without him. That would be a disaster if you couldn't. But so I think you can still keep this lead and be fine without him. Also, you get all that, all those things you're talking about, the blister, the knee kind of healed up. Then there's the Dodgers' thoughts. The Dodgers' thoughts are probably, we could are probably close to mine, not in the same the same. Where it's no, we're gonna let him kind of work through some things. And then there's Shohei's thoughts. And if I was thinking like Shohei, I'd be like, nah, I'm going out there every single time because that's who I am. I'm a competitor. I'm Shohei freaking Ohtani. I'm gonna go out there as much as I want to go out there. And that's what's going to happen. I don't think the Dodgers are going to do anything that Shohei doesn't want to do. I think they're going to keep pushing him out there as much as he wants to. But I do think at some point they're going to skip a start. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think they will skip a start for him so they can at least get that finger figured out.
I think it also becomes easier to skip a start now that, the Cy Young isn't officially dead, but it's pretty close to gone at this point, right? So it's like now the pressure to have him keep starting, to give him the opportunity to chase that, I think is a lot less. With Sanchez and Mizorowski have put a pretty big gap between themselves and everybody else in the field at this point.
Even more than Skeens. Like Skeens isn't even part of this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, look, when the Dodgers saw Skeens a couple weeks ago, whenever that was, he looked like a good pitcher, not an elite pitcher.
Mortal?
Yeah, he did. He sort of looked like that. So, it looks like a two-man race in the National League for the Cy Young, and unfortunately, Shohei Ohtani's not in it. So, but that said, it means I think it's easier to say, hey, look, we can skip a turn in the rotation. We can find somebody, or everybody just moves up a day, or gets one less day of rest, however you want to look at it, just because we need you. We need you to be right for later on down the line. That's more important than anything else that might be going on.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he gets that too, Marcus. Like, I think that's something that he wants to be out there. He's a competitor and he wants to do it. But I think I always go back to what he says after each World Series win. Is he goes to Andrew Friedman, he says, "That's one, that's two." He's always said he wants the amount of his contract. He wants that many World Series titles.
Wow!
So that'd be pretty crazy, right? It'd be amazing. So he wants to prove that I'm worth the money. I'm going to get you those World Series championships. I took less money to allow you to get other people. I mean, took less money in the sense of like year by year, not by on the back end. But did that so you can go get Yamamoto, you can go get Sasaki, you can go get Snell and all those guys. You can go do that because I only took $2 million a year, and he wants to win. So I go back to that. It's like if that's your main goal, and that's your main goal, if you got to skip a start and you're not getting the Cy Young. I think we're pretty clear on that at this point. But he still thinks he can get it, so he's going to try.
Yeah, I like the fact that he still wants to chase it, just because, not that he wasn't going to try hard and try to be the best pitcher he could be, but anything that puts a chip on Shohei Ohtani's shoulder, I'm here for it.
And I think that personally.
Exactly. I mean, look, we were at that game together against the Mets when he finally gave up an earned run. And what did he do?
He was pissed.
He came back and the next 5 pitches were all over 100 miles an hour, right?
Right down the middle. It's like, damn.
So an angry Shohei Ohtani is a joy to watch, at least if you're a Dodger fan, for sure. The other part of this, though, that is reassuring in the whole thing is that help is on the way, especially on the bullpen side of things. Brock Stewart still working in single A, making starts or making appearances, I should say, in Ontario. So he looks like he's getting closer. I know that the thought process was they wanted to see him on back-to-back nights and then they'd reevaluate. I believe he has done that. I think they're hoping for him to pitch again sometime in the next couple of days. So he's getting close. Evan Phillips is getting closer as well. He's in OKC right now. So the bullpen looks like it's starting to get healthy and get full, which I guess begs the question then, who were the odd men out? I guess Jonathan Hernandez.
Oh, yeah, Jonathan Hernandez
is for sure one.
Right.
That's where it gets kind of sticky after that, right? I mean, who else gets the demotion? Is it Edgardo Henriquez? Is it Kyle Hurt? That's going to be the tough decision at that point.
Yeah, I think it's going to come to. If I had to guess, just by the way they used him against Tampa Bay, I would say Edgardo Henriquez is the guy, because Kyle Hurt pitched in the first 2 games of that series, and then Edgardo Henriquez only pitched in the 3rd game, and it was in the 7th inning. Mm-hmm. Kyle Hurt was going between the 7th and the 8th in the other 2 outings. So it seems like he on the trust tree he seemed to be a little bit higher. Although, I mean, Hurt has just as many options. It would be one of those 2, but my guess would be Edgardo Henriquez at this point because of how well Kyle Hurt has pitched. Not saying that Edgardo has pitched poorly at all. He's actually been very impressive. But I think when you have that roster crunch, it seems like he would be which way do you think they go?
No, I think Enriquez is probably the guy because, as you mentioned, just the usage, right? It does seem like they are more willing to put Kyle Hurt into higher leverage situations. And so I think that sort of speaks to how they want to use guys and which guys stay, which guys go. But yeah, I think, if you're Dave Roberts, if you're Andrew Friedman, and you have to make that call, I think you sit down with whoever it is, whether it's Enriquez, Hurt, whomever, and you just make it clear, like, hey, look, you did nothing wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like you haven't done anything,
You're going to be back.
We're going to be back, because you hate to say it, but something's going to happen. There's going to be another reason to call somebody up from Oklahoma City. Just sort of keep your head up, keep working. It's the issue of being on a team that has so much talent and so much depth that, you can only keep so many guys and somebody's going to end up having to go, essentially. It's kind of how it works.
And then think about it. Then the other guy is going to go too because Edwin Diaz will come back after the All-Star break, and then that creates another roster crunch where you're going to have to put another guy down. So both of them are going to go at one point or another, you'd have to assume. But yeah, or something happens. I mean, look, somebody's going to go on IL. Guess who's not being used as often as he was before and being used in low leverage situations? Blake Trinan. He's not being used. He's coming into games that are 10-2. He's not being used in a 8th inning of a game that's a 1-run game. That's just not how it's been. He comes in when they're losing games. So I would like to look at what's going on with him too. So I just assume an IL stint for him could be in the works. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like he's injured. He's just not pitching very well.
He's just not pitching well. Yeah. I mean, you talk about the situations he's coming in, they're either behind or the score is sort of lopsided and they're trying to get him right. Or he's, a lot of times maybe one of the first guys out of the bullpen too, right?
Yeah.
It's when the starter is starting to wear down in the 6th inning, maybe 7th inning, that's when you see Trinan starting to get up. Yeah. He is definitely fallen a few branches down the trust tree with how things have gone so far.
Just a wee bit
for sure. Anything else? I have the list of the updated All-Star voting. I don't know if there's anything else.
I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit on Travis and DeMarco and Travis, and we talked about it. Then we can go over the All-Stars, but also I think at this point we're looking at where's the weakness on this team? We talked a little bit about it. It's like, is it second base? Like, is second base actually a weakness to this team? Because you have 3 different guys that can play there in Rojas, Freeland, and Tommy Edman. If we're we talked a little earlier about the trade deadline. Do they need anything in there? Like, are you really going to go hard after Tariq Skubal? Are you going to go after a Gleyber Torres or a Luis Arias? Like, what is it? If you're going to really go after somebody, who are you going after? In what position?
See, I think that's the issue right now, because if you look at the middle infield, whether it's second base or, I hate to say it, but shortstop, you're not getting a lot of offensive production from either of those positions right now. But defensively, you are great. Mookie's been amazing, and Alex Freeland maybe not the most confident in Freeland when he steps to the plate, but dude plays a really good second base, and so when you talk about options at second, like you mentioned a Luis Arias or something like that, like, sure, if you need somebody to just slap singles to left and right field, that's fine, but you also are taking a big drop off defensively over at second base. I mean, I think that's sort of the issue. Like, is the trade-off worth it when you hope in the back of your mind that Mookie Betts is going to figure out some way to start generating offense, and 2, you are invested as an organization in a guy like Alex Freeland and his development. I don't think you do that. And I go back to before the season started when we had Katie Wu on and we were asking her questions, and she, in the very polite way that she does, says, guys, we're arguing about the backup second baseman for the Dodgers. Like that, that tells you kind of where they are right now. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make a move at all, or if they do, it's one that is sort of minor. But I would also like to remind you that, with last year, the minor move was Alex Call.
Yep.
And look at what he's doing, what he did last year, but more importantly, what he has done for this team this year. He has turned out to be a really important piece for this ball club.
Yeah, and a lot of it is because of his defense, like we were talking about. You have that middle infield defense you're talking about. Remember, they won the last two World Series, yes, because of the offense, but a lot because they were the better defensive team.
Mhm.
They made more plays defensively, and that's how they won, especially last year against Toronto. Now, obviously, like the Yankees were just not a very good defensive team, and were dropping balls and throwing them all over the place, and that was funny to watch and also amazing to watch at the same time. But they won last year against Toronto because they were better defensively. That play from Miggy Rowe at home, the play from Kike in center field to double up. I forgot who it was at the
Was it Addison Barger? I think it was.
yeah, Barger at second base. So like those types of things were because you had the better defensive team. So I wouldn't want to risk what you have defensively. You're talking about that great middle infield. I wouldn't want to risk that
Best
middle
in baseball,
infield.
by the way. Yeah.
It is. Some people say
many are saying it's the best in baseball.
I wouldn't want to give that up just to maybe have a little bit of a better offensive bat. I know we all look at the offense. There's enough offense on this team, especially when Teo comes back. If Tucker starts hitting, if Mookie starts hitting, like those things will all rise up, especially in the postseason. And in the postseason, your offense isn't really supposed to rise up. The pitching rises up. So the defense has to be perfect. And I think that's really what they're going to stress more. And Tommy Edman, Alex Freeland, and Miguel Rojas are three of the best at second base.
Absolutely. So again, maybe they don't move at the deadline, and that might just be okay.
Yeah.
Wanted to dive into the All-Star voting because there are updated numbers starting to come out here, and I think there's some interesting things here. Some things that as a Dodger fan, you in your heart, your blue heart, you love to see, but I think in your brain, you're like, okay, it's not quite right. So Will Smith is second among catchers, which when you sort of look at the other catchers around there, like I get that. Yeah, I can kind of get Drake Baldwin for the Braves is leading all the catchers in voting by a pretty wide margin right now. Freddie Freeman is leading at first base, but in a pretty tight race with Matt Olson down in Atlanta. But Freeman has a lead there. Among second basemen, nobody really. Hesong Kim is actually fourth.
He hasn't been up in a couple weeks, so
right. He's fourth,
and he didn't start with the big club. So
nope. Max Muncy has a huge lead at third base. He's running away with that one there. Mookie Betts is second among shortstops, and is fairly close. I mean, he is, do the math, about 12,000 votes behind C.J. Abrams. So that's actually really, really close. There.
That's a name value one just as well as Will Smith. It is because he's Mookie Betts.
Right. Shohei, no surprise, is running away at DH. In fact, he leads all players in all-star votes. Although I'll say this, Kyle Schwarber is kind of holding his own. Shohei's at 1.1 million. Schwarber's at about 820,000. The next closest is at 371. So, it's those two guys pretty much. Your top three, I should give you your top five outfielders. So Andy Pages is number one, followed by Ronald Acuna Jr. Brandon Marsh is 3. Michael Harris of the Braves is 4. Teoscar comes in at number 5 of outfielders.
Not going to get there.
Not going to get there. But it's interesting because some of the names, again, it's like a Mookie Betts as the number 2 shortstop right now, and he's not having a very good year. Hesong Kim is the number 4 second baseman, which is wild to me. I don't remember who I was talking to, but pointed out that this feels like a little bit like the Shohei effect in that, obviously everybody in America is voting, but also everybody in Japan is voting and they're watching the Dodgers. Yeah. And so you have the name value of Mookie Betts for sure, but that's the reason I think Andy Pages maybe has such a significant lead, because all the fans in Japan are watching Shohei, which means they see Andy Pages play every single day. I think that's why Max Muncy's having a great season. But the fact that he's running away with it, how much of it has to do with folks in Japan just kind of clicking Dodgers as they go down?
I think that's a really good point, and it's very, very plausible. Like the Andy Pages one to me, I think is the biggest one, because over the last month, Andy Pages has not been the same guy that he was. I mean, he was super hot, but over the last month, he's not playing that well. He has
Dare I say, since he went to the number 2 spot in the batting order?
It very much is. Remember, he had those first couple of games in the 2 spot. You're like, oh, he breaks the 2 spot curse. But since then, it has been a steep decline. Where over the last 30 days, his OPS is below league average. League average is around 750. He's below that. Like that's his. He only has his 14 RBIs in there, and he's still second in RBIs, but he was leading in RBIs all of baseball, and it was by a pretty decent margin, and it's all starting to come down. The batting average is way down from what it was. It's just he has not played well, but I still think he deserves to be that all-star starter because he has had it's crazy to say this when a team was Shohei. Offensively, he carried the team for the first 2 months of the season. I can't deny that in any sense. So he deserves to be there in my mind. But recently, his numbers have dropped. So I can see where the argument is lying. Like, why is Andy Paz there? Because he hasn't been that great recently. He still belongs in there, and I hope that he does get it. But it has not been great for him recently.
No, it is not at all. To my people in the chat mentioned he's very streaky, and that is absolutely the case. We saw it last year too, where he will be cold, he'll get hot, he'll get cold again. I mean, he offensively was a nightmare in the postseason last year, but thankfully the defense stayed steady for him, so that is good. Dodgers back in action tonight. Starting a 3-game series at Dodger Stadium against the Baltimore Orioles. Roki Sasaki getting the ball for the Dodgers, going against Trey Gibson, who's making just his 6th appearance of the season. He's got an ERA of 5.91. Buckle up. We'll see how this goes. Either way, we'll be back with you on Monday to recap what went down over the weekend. By the way, USA soccer today too at
12 o'clock
noon.
USA.
At noon against Australia.
USA.
So we'll see if the boys can back up their solid start after what they did against Paraguay last week. But anyway, that'll do it for this edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. Thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out. Thanks to Tim for production assistance. Stick around. The Sedano and Cap Morning Extravaganza coming up right after us. But for Greg, I am Marcus. We will talk to you again on Monday, 6:30 to 6:55 here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel.
See ya.